Hello. So, before you start watching anything, look around the room. Look around your room. Is there any annoying little thing that can be fixed in like 1 minute? Like picking up a fucking thing that needed to be picked up for a long time and you just haven't gone around to it? Go do that real quick. And then after you get done with that, go have fun watching the rest of this. Because I like that people are watching, but I want to make sure that people are actually doing something. improve your life. Because that's kind of like what these vlogs are. Is like I'm trying to go do things that like improve my life over time. And I've come to realize just having someone say, hey, that thing you were supposed to do, go do that. Like that helps so much. So I'm gonna be doing that from now on. I know it sounds like a YouTuber-y kind of thing to do, but like, hey, like that's something that would work for me. So hopefully it'll work for you. So with that said, I was very unproductive this month because I had nostalgic distractions, which is why I'm sitting on top of a Timberwolf listening to MechWarrior 2 music. Yeah, and that's also why I'm the Protogen, because I'm like, I look at the Timberwolf's face, and you look at the Protogen's face, very similar. And then you look at the lore behind the clans, and then you look at the lore behind the Protogens, and it's like, that's kind of similar. So yeah, I felt like this was like mandatory. Also, I'm really happy I found this world. It has like a few different mechs. This is the only clan mech, and of course it's the Timberwolf, because like it's the poster boy of MechWarrior at this point, and it's the poster boy of the clans. And I played MechWarrior 2, like the Jade Falcon versus Clan Wolf. So yeah, I had to go stand on top of the Timberwolf. Though Timberwolf, pretty big. I made the Protogen as big as possible at 5 meters, but like, you know, like the Timberwolf and like the mechs are usually like around like 40 meters, so still gonna be quite the size difference. So yeah. So now, while most of my vlogs, I'm trying to go have it somewhat structured with the checkpoints, I still kind of do whatever in the beginning. Now, I don't always try to do something unique, but this time I just want to show you what it looks like for my notes, because a lot of what I write down like doesn't actually make it into vlogs, because I'm like, this is either too small or there might be a personal thing. There's not many things that are personal. I'm pretty much an open book, but after all, that's why I'm doing a freaking vlog thing. I'm pretty sure I've said the most personal things I can possibly say anyways. So yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go show you like my notes, even though I feel like I missed so many notes because I was so exhausted this month, and I got distracted from nostalgic things. So yeah, I will now show you. Behold, my exhaustive list of notes. But yeah, so starting off, something big happened, and then not much else big happened, but like, freaking, I saw like this, so in Rain World, there's this character called Saint. While in the, like, it's one of those games where it's like, you encounter everything, and then you make up your own little, like, headcanons and whatever, based off of, it's like environmental storytelling. It doesn't, like, outright tell you, except for like when you talk to certain characters. But yeah, I'm going to try staying spoiler free as much as possible about this though. Go play Rain World. It's a fun time. It's for specific people. It's hard, kind of bullshit because it is a little random. Oh, very random actually. But like it's a good time. But yeah, anyways. So Saint, well, you can probably guess what kind of character he is based off of the name, but here's the thing, it's like there's not like explicitly stated things, so people have like their own different like interpretations of what Saint would be like. But of course a lot of people like to do memes, so a lot of them are kind of like, what if Saint was evil, sort of thing. So that's kind of funny, but like Panseer, I think their name is, like made a bunch of comics where like, what if we actually delved into like someone that always tried to go improve and try to do good things, and I'm like, wait a minute, this character, I actually kind of relate to this character a bit. What the fuck? So I thought that was kind of interesting. But yeah. So I kind of liked looking at that sort of stuff. And then I kept on going into analysis paralysis, especially because I was like looking at it like right before bed. Because the things are like vague enough and like generally applicable to a lot of things that's like you could pretty much like think about like you could probably look at it and view whatever you want out of it. So it was hitting me harder than it probably should. But yeah. But it did make me think of a few things. Like the biggest one that like caught my attention was like his interaction with Monk. Basically, like because there's like this time loop cycle going on. He like everyone forgets like after a cycle like has been forgotten, but then like Monk didn't forget. Or, like he kind of knows. But I'm just like, that reminds me of like when people are saying things are okay, but then things are not actually okay. And I always get all paranoid. She's like, what's going on? You're acting like you're not happy or something. Go tell me. And then I can go fix whatever the heck it is. Yeah. And then there's also the thought of like, I always try to do like whatever is like the best thing, but I have had like the thought experiment of like, if everyone tried to do like the best habits all the time, I'm just like, that would make everyone basically the same, and I don't think that's a good thing because the chaos of life is kind of interesting because it gives you other perspectives to go help grow and improve. Because if everyone thinks the same, if something counters that, and then like everyone's going to get screwed over. So it's like, it's kind of nice that there's a little bit of chaos. I think the world is a little too chaotic right now, so I'm just going to keep on trying to go do good things. But like, I don't want to go like all the way to the other side and just be like, you have to do like everything this way. But it's really hard because trying to find that balance, because like because with the mentality of like allowing some things, sometimes you can have the slippery slope and then just like keep on slipping until you're back into the bad habits, like what happened to me. What the heck? I felt like something just like smacked the side of my foot. Weird. Anyways, what was I talking about? And before there's a mouse. He just came up, slapped my foot. I doubt that. Anyways, gosh darn it. I don't know what that was, but that really distracted me. I did have a monster today, so if I am just kind of like rambling constantly and not slowing down, that's why. Because normally I drink it a little slower, but I had like the whole can in like less than an hour, so I'm feeling it right now. Which means I'm also not going to stop moving. Yeah. Fuck, I lost my train of thought. Oh no. Oh yeah. God damn it. Oh no. I've already lost track. But yeah. It's basically that balance of like trying to do the right thing and doing chaotic things is going to be kind of hard, because if you do only the same routine day in, day out, eventually like you're limiting yourself for like being able to grow. So there has to be some risks taken so you can figure out what you need to do in life. Because I was very risk averse when I was growing up, and things went to hell real quick because I was trying too hard to do the right things. But yeah, now things have changed. But I'm not saying yeah, you should go drink every single day. No. That's the thing that like you need to still be aware of. You don't want to like allow like a slippery slip of things to let you go back into your bad habits. You have to have like some rules in place, but just good luck finding that like balance. Because if you do the same thing over and over, you're not going to learn anything new because you're always doing the same thing. And then like eventually you'll have like a comfort zone that's ever shrinking as time goes on. And that's no good because eventually like you're just going to be trapped at some point. So yeah. Oh yeah, eventually I was going to try to do a thing of like, what don't I want to do? Let me go do that. And then I forgot for every other day. So that's why I'm starting that habit of like asking you to like do an annoying thing at the beginning of every video. So yeah. And then there's a whole bunch of like other little things that probably aren't worth mentioning. Like I got distracted by a kitty when I came home from work. It's like, that's not really a thing that needs to be mentioned. I don't think, at least. It does help the emotions. Like I could probably like, because there's a lot of like recurring things. The kitty has been trying to go sit with me like every time I return from work. It's like, it's nice stress relief and all that, but like I often look at videos like after work, and that's a terrible idea because I'm gonna be exhausted, and if I'm exhausted, I'm gonna have a hard time resisting the urge to go watch more. So as much as I love the kitty, I'm gonna have to say no to him and just like put him outside the door from here on out. Earlier in the day, maybe. And then even if the kitty does come by, I'm gonna have to like put down a little timer. It's like 15 minutes. Let's see here. Let's see, anything else? Oh yeah, and then here I actually did some math on like how many calories I was having. I know there's a lot more to dieting than just calories because you have to have like all your nutrients and whatever. But I realized calorie wise, like I have a lot less than most people, and that's probably why I keep on losing weight. And I was even trying that. And then I usually am always doing something physical throughout the day because there's always something that needs to be done. When I'm at work, I definitely have to move constantly for the entire time. Like, they never have enough people, and that's probably by design. So, kind of crappy, but yeah. Yeah, let's see. What else? And I was exhausted that day, probably because I wasn't eating healthy in general for a while, and I haven't been getting my sleep for a while. And then, yeah, let's see here. And then something happened where it's like I bought something that was $200, but because it's physical, like something different happened in my brain compared to like online purchases. I'm sure you might have heard something like this before, but like, online, your brain doesn't really register like how much the money like you're spending is actually. But then when I bought like a physical thing that was $200, I'm just like, that is $200 just sitting over there. That is a lot. But then like a lot of video games are like $60, and it doesn't feel like much. So that kind of shocked me because I've always had a purpose for everything physical that I've ever bought in my life. So that $200 thing that wasn't like all that important really shook up my view on like the money that I have. So that was interesting. And it also made me more aware of like how other people can fall into traps with their money usage. And then later that day, I got distracted by Rain World, and I'm like, oh, let me go save this ASCII stuff, because why not? Yeah, let's see here. But yeah, and then so on and so forth, monitoring more stuff about my diet. You can pause at any point, but yeah, like this is generally like what it looks like. a lot of repetitive things. And I still need to go like write down every time I eat something, because it's so handy on like curbing your urges to just have everything whenever. But yeah. Oh, wait, what's this? Oh yeah. And then there's not too much important. Played some Smash. I got distracted by YouTube a lot. And that's generally what the case is going to be for like the rest of these notes for the most part. So I'm probably going to go back into like the regular vlog thing pretty soon here. Unless there's something else that I forgot. Because I spent like a couple hours looking at this and then just like trying to shorten it. But there's so much. So much. Oh yeah. Freaking... Oh, the pain. My save file got corrupted on Rain World, so I have to go do a new thing. And then I found out that MechWarrior 5 Clans is coming out this year. I thought it was going to be next year because 30th anniversary of MechWarrior 2. They even had like their little teaser for MechWarrior 5 was a direct reference to MechWarrior 2. I'm just like, oh shit. So I thought they were going to like delay it until like the 30th anniversary. Because 29th anniversary doesn't sound as good. But yeah. More Smash, more dieting stuff and whatever. But like an overall feeling of if you're exhausted, don't do things, just get some fucking sleep. And I wasn't doing that. And then I was distracted by nostalgia because I was exhausted all the time. So it's just like a downward spiral for most of this month. Yeah. And then I'm pretty sure that's just about it when it comes to looking at this. I'll scroll down so you can see everything else. But in general, like that's pretty much everything. Yeah. I guess the last thing I could probably say is at the very end, there was freaking ADHD things, because recently Jaden released a video about ADHD, and I related to that, but like Jaden does like a lot of good relatable like videos and such. Always a fun time watching Jaden animations, and then I immediately watched like Ice Cream's Sandwich's video on ADHD. And I've related to a lot of ADHD things with a lot of YouTubers, but I'm just like, how much is this if this is normal, and how much of this is actually ADHD things? Because if you looked into psychology at all, you know that just because you have symptoms of something doesn't mean you have it. It's just it becomes a disorder when it's too much. Okay. So yeah. But one thing I saw that was interesting, let me see if I can find it. Okay, here we are. Can I? Oh, I'm around here. Oh, there we go. But yeah, this thing right here. His explanation of like his thought process, was like way too relatable, especially when I get too tired. But it's like, your brain is like, this is the task I gotta do. But this thing can be done a lot faster. We'll go do that. And then it goes on to that until you're doing something that like is kind of meaningless and not really important at all. And then like halfway during that, you'll take a break and then get distracted by anything else when that's done. So it's like, that is basically how my thought process was like for the majority of this month. Now, I always chalk this up to me like not getting enough sleep, because if I get enough sleep and I'm on all my good diet and such, like that doesn't really happen that much, if at all. So this month was very unproductive because that was like basically my mindset for most of this month. It really sucked. But it's like after like looking at Jane's animation, or it's like it wasn't affecting her earlier on in her life, I'm just like, wait a minute. I wonder if there's something to that, because maybe all this getting rest and such is just like kind of suppressing all the worst symptoms of like ADHD. So it's like, maybe I do have it. I'll have to go look into that. But I'm not going to look at that right now because of everything else. So that's just like a quick glance of like what is there. Sure, there we go. But yeah, now I'm gonna actually talk about my vlog stuff. Actually, I should probably show you what that looks like. Sorry. I love this theme so much. It's like the theme in the first mission in Clan Wolf. And you just get to go around like one-shotting things with missiles as the Mad Dog, and I loved it so much. And I love the Mad Dog over the Timberwolf back in MechWarrior 2 because I'm just like, oh, everyone loves the Timberwolf, and Timberwolf is so cool, but I gotta be cooler. Like, the Mad Dog's so much better. It's like, I'm the real underdog, but he's so much better. Which is really funny because later on, like literally decades later, because that game's like 30 years old, and I played that game when I was 8. I'm 35 now. It's crazy. Just like, oh my gosh, what was I gonna say? Fuck, I was gonna say something. I realized that, oh yeah, now I remember. Smoke Jaguar made the Mad Dog specifically to mock like Clan Wolf's Timberwolf. So I thought that was kind of funny that like I had that kind of view of the Timberwolf when I was piloting the Mad Dog. Anyways, so when I got to the vlog, I basically already mentioned this stuff when I was going through it initially, but like the big thing that I saw was like Saint's morality and such, balancing things and blah blah blah. So I already mentioned that. So I forgot to write down 2 things. One of them I remember. Let me go swap to the other one real quick. So this avatar, will I be tiny? Oh no, I'll just change me. This avatar I keep on forgetting to mention, but ever since I've been using this one, like, maybe it's because like it's like nice and thin and fits like the human body more than the protogen, but like frickin' that mantled beast, I don't know why it's called that, but the mantled beast, like it triggers, like it fools the brain a lot. So like sometimes when I'm getting very sleepy or something like that, my brain just like kind of like thinks it's like, hey, you're the freaking mantled beast. It's like, obviously I know that's not the case, but I just find it funny because it's been such a long time since like anything in VR has done that, because the protogen is different enough that it doesn't do it that often, but it does do it sometimes. But like the mantle beast, like every time I use that thing, like my brain just like attaches itself to that for some reason. So I always thought that was kind of interesting, and which would probably make it so like Phantom Sense is probably stronger at that. But I don't know. That's Phantom Sense is something for another time, because Phantom Sense is not like really well researched. Phantom Pain for them, like people who have lost limbs, has been well researched, but like Phantom Sense from like VR, like that's not researched that well, because it's kind of hard to tell if someone actually has it or not. Yeah, because like you got someone like me, it's like I'll feel it quite strongly, but like most of the time I'm a pretty calm person, so I'm not gonna be like overly dramatic when something happens like some other people do, and then some people are faking it. So yeah. Anyways, the emotional checkpoint, I'm gonna start calling it the mental checkpoint, because that encompasses emotions, but also encompasses like thought processes and other things. So yeah. I already mentioned that like I was super exhausted like this whole entire time. I'm gonna feel a lot better. Like I got some exercise last night, and oh my god, I feel amazing, because I was too exhausted to get exercise, and then that also made me, because I was too exhausted, I kept falling into the trap of having a bad diet, which made me more exhausted. So like I never was like exercising for this past month, and I felt so horrible, and emotions were like out of control and all that. So yeah, all I gotta say is do good habits, and when you start those habits, don't try to avoid faltering them as much as possible. I'm still trying to like figure out ways to not like get overconfident and be like, oh, I can do this one little thing and I'll be totally fine. I won't slip back into the bad habits. I saw a video recently. I didn't put it in my notes though. That talked specifically about that. But yeah. Oh well. Oh yeah, it was something about like basically most people will basically go on a roller coaster. It's like they'll go on like a bad time, and then because they're going on a bad time, they'll try hard to get to a good time. So they get to a good time, and then they're like, we're finally in a good spot. And then they stop trying, so it goes back down to like crappy times again, and then it goes up and down, up and down, up and down all the time. So they were talking about something about like, what if you like made it so like when you get to the good part, you're like, no, that's not good enough, and then you keep going higher. It's like, that is a way, but you gotta be careful with that, because otherwise you could get to a point where you're never satisfied with anything and you're just miserable for the rest of your life. Just because you're successful doesn't mean like you'll be happy or you're doing good things, you know? Yeah. Let's see. But that's something I need to go look into more. So I'll talk about that in the future at some point when I find like better solutions to something like that. And I was definitely researching way too much because, you know, I got distracted by YouTube a whole lot. Oh my god. This frickin' song right here, this is like the first example of like a progressive song that I've ever heard. All right. Now that I'm not distracted by the music anymore. Now, originally, I wasn't going to mention this, but like, I'm trying to go through the Dr. K's like trauma module and like doing Dr. K's guide and such. And it was actually quite shocking because I've always liked listening to like Dr. K in general because he says a lot of things that like I don't hear from other people, but like every now and then he'll just say a bunch of things that like I've encountered from like having like over the experiences like I've had in my life. Because I'm like 35 now. I'm not like a little kid. I have some experiences, and a lot of like the most positive things that have helped me be like more productive and more happy. Like he'll say those things, and some of those things are things that like I've never heard anywhere else. Like, for example, in like the trauma module, it's like he was talking about like exercise and the relation to like trauma and such. Now, I'm not going to say anything that, like, at this moment, I'm not going to say anything that, like, are in the modules that, like, I didn't already know. So when he said something about, like, people's heart rate in relation to, like, how much exercise they get, I thought it was very interesting because before exercise, people that have, like, trauma and such, like, they have a high level of stress constantly the entire time, like, no matter what's happening. But then, like, once you get into exercise, like, you're going to be making your heart go really high during exercise, a very high heart rate. But then once you stop exercising, like for the rest of the day, like, it goes really low. Like, for example, for me, I realized before exercise, I got a heart rate monitor. My heart rate was generally around, like, 90 beats per minute. And then after I started like doing Beat Saber consistently all the time, my heart rate would drop to like in the 60s, like generally. That's like my resting heart rate. And then I stopped like being so panicky all the time. So that really shocked the heck out of me. And then hearing Dr. K talk about that, it's like, yes, this is stuff that like you probably heard somewhere before, but like the way he like mentioned it made it sound like it makes more sense. Because, you know, there's a lot of things in life where people will say like a certain factoid, but like it means absolutely nothing to you because they're just regurgitating the information. They're not actually saying like how it got there and like why it feels that way. So like that's one thing I like about Dr. K is like he kind of like says things in a way that's really good at like making you understand in a simplistic way, because that's one thing that's a good signifier of like someone who's intelligent is like taking something like complex ideas and making it saying it in a simplistic way, and Dr. K does that all the time. But he's not going to dumb things down, so he will toss out like some random jargon every now and then, but like those terms like make it much easier to go understand sometimes. So it's like he has this nice balance of when to use complicated terms and when to say simplistic terms, and it's like it's such a nice balance that I haven't really seen from other people. So I suggest like go look at his stuff, especially if you're like looking at problems. But like, with that said though, don't, as with like any sort of self-help sort of thing out there, don't just get distracted just like looking at it, like videos talking about like how to go improve your life. Actually go do things, actually implement them. Otherwise you can just like keep on doing things over and over and over again. And Dr. K was even talking about that at some point. And one thing I found very interesting was that he even mentions like don't when you're looking at self-help stuff, like don't treat it like as you're trying to fix, like don't treat yourself like you're flawed. Like I forget what else he says, but there's something that I said and it's very hard for my mind to wrap around, but I know what he's talking about. But because of like how people have like drilled things into my life, it's just like I'm kind of like stuck in like an old way. I'm trying to go fix that, but we'll go see what happens. So this month I'm definitely gonna be looking into like all of his other modules and such and see how much I can get through. Even though like at the beginning he's like, don't binge it, you dummy. You gotta let your brain like let all that information sink in. So we'll go see how that goes. But yeah. That said though, while he does have like a lot of cool things, I've never been a very spiritual person, and he does have like a bunch of like spiritual stuff. He even talks about like chakras at some point. I'm just like, I don't know about that one, Chief, but I'm curious, so I'll go look at it. Cause why not? Cause I've always heard people talk about that silly stuff, but I'll go see what it's about. Cause like all the factual stuff, like I've seen a million places elsewhere, but like he distills it in a very easy way. Perhaps he can go explain to me why people get into like the spiritual stuff in the first place. Maybe there's something I'm missing. Yeah, because I've never been religious, I've never been spiritual or whatever. So it's like I've always been, I need the facts, I need the cold hard facts sort of type of person growing up. So I realized like sometimes there are some emotional things that are like kind of like shortcuts to like triggering motivation, and then you can like remember information and do things more frequently. So we'll go see where that goes. I don't know. Let's see. And then I mentioned the ADHD thing already. As for now we go into the efficiency checkpoint. So I'm pretty sure I mentioned I was on my diet was horrible this month, and then I had a hard time sleeping, and then I got distracted by so many things. Now I did get distracted by MechWarrior 2, but in hindsight, after looking at my notes, it did not distract me nearly as much because I only had like 4 sessions, and like 3 of those sessions was me playing for like 1 hour each. So it didn't really interrupt me as much as I thought. Apparently there's a lot of other things that interrupted me more. Mainly YouTube, of course. But yeah. But also I realized my cat was distracting me a lot more because I realized as time went on, my cat like kept on trying to go get more and more and more attention like every day. Like today, for example, literally every time I leave my room, like they've been asking for attention. And I would get distracted like 10 minutes at a time. I'm just like, okay, you know what? This has to stop. It's getting a little too much. I know kitties need love, but there's I can't spoil him too much. So he's gonna be mad at me for a while because I'm gonna be ignoring him for a bit. There's other people in the house that can give the kitty attention. Let's see here. And then I already talked about like the expensive physical item. But yeah, so that's gonna make me more efficient with my money because I now realize the value of $1 much more thoroughly now. Because there's a variety of reasons like that. Because I usually try to be very frugal with my money. Because there's been quite a few times in my life where like I basically had no money and it was like all scary and such. So I try to be very careful with like what money I spend. Yeah, eventually I will try to go learn more about like money techniques and all that such. I don't know if I'll ever like say any of that on this vlog though, because of like how markets work and all that. It's like if everyone's doing it, it's going to be ineffective and all that and blah blah blah. So I don't think I can give advice when it comes to money, especially since that's like not my expertise, you know. But I do have like some ideas. But I'm pretty sure just doing a few YouTube searches or whatever, you'll probably figure it out, like more information than you'll get from me anyways. So yeah. Yeah. One thing I found was interesting was like trying to learn things when you're in a good state of mind. Basically, like if you want to learn something or improve at a skill, do it like earlier on in the day, not when you're exhausted. I know that sounds like it should be like a no-brainer sort of thing, but like most of my life I've always grown up to be like, get rid of all like the labor and such done first because it sucks. I want to get the stuff that sucks out of the way, and then I can have fun doing all the mental tasks later. But one thing I do realize is that if I do the mental tasks later, I'm gonna be on my computer, and that makes it very easy to get distracted by YouTube, since like a lot of research is going to take place in your browser, and especially now that like YouTube's getting more aggressive with notifications and such. So yeah. So yeah. Knowledge checkpoint. I need to go do something about this knowledge checkpoint. But it's like I haven't been learning stuff about like maintenance on the house or taking care of a vehicle and such. I have to rename this checkpoint at some point, but you'll see it eventually at some point. Physical checkpoint. I thought I was a dumb, and I thought like, you know what? I'm feeling nostalgic with MechWarrior 2. Let me go have a diet like I used to. I was very tired when I made that decision. It was a horrible decision. I don't know what I was thinking. I was just like, I was so exhausted. My brain didn't stop to think, wait, why don't we do that? No, it just didn't think about that. It just didn't occur to it. So I was just like, then because of that, like I got addicted to all the bad food again. So, oopsies. Yeah. But like, anytime I had healthy food, it made such a huge difference, and I had a good day anytime I had like healthy food. So that was a real big shocker. And now like I'm getting to the point where I'm getting sick and tired of like doing unhealthy things for the body just for the sake of like someone else suggesting that I do that. So I'm just gonna be like, screw it, it's not worth it. If they get all sad about it, well, that's their problem. I want to make sure my body's healthy, you know? One day of like having unhealthiness like generally will impact like the rest of the month. It's like if I just have one day of just feeling bad that I didn't have like the food that I wanted, and just have a good rest of the month, it's like I think I prefer that. Yeah. And then I was slacking in exercise. I don't even think I did any squats this month. So that really sucked. Which is interesting because, like, my knees were like popping and all that, like when I was trying to do like squats and stuff like last month. So I need to go get back into that because I realized at work, since I have to bend over for everything, like I stopped like kneeling down and such. I mean, like bending my knees and such to go to lower places. I kept on leaning over to go do things, which was a killer on my back. So I just need to like do squats and all that other stuff. I'm probably gonna start doing like side lunges and such in the future as well. So those kind of things feel more natural. That way, my body will compensate with like doing other things instead of just like over stressing my back literally 8 hours a day, you know. So yeah. Also, I saw someone doing splits like 400, and I can't do splits. I'm afraid to go any lower than that. It's like I'm feeling the muscles there, and that's too much. But like, if someone that's over 400 pounds could do splits, I can probably do that. I just have to go work up to it. So eventually I'll go start doing that. And then there was someone, I forget their name. Oh, I don't have it here. Why didn't I put their name here? But there was someone that had shoe in their name, so I thought that was kind of funny. So I remember that part. I forgot the other part of the name. But like, they actually did the Jacko pose. Like, the Jacko pose is something like, you've probably seen it in a lot of memes before. Oh dear. So it's something like this. I don't know how that looks, but like, it's something like that. And I'm not gonna try it like full on because I'm feeling very not flexible right now. So now that I've seen someone actually do it for real, like actually perpendicular to the floor, like I have a goal now. Though I'm probably not gonna go all the way to that extent because I hear that that's not good for your body to do it to that extreme. So I want to go do that because it's a funny pose. I like the funny pose. And there's some other like poses that I saw that I want to go work up to at some point. Unfortunately, I didn't write them down, so I don't remember what they were. Clearly what I gotta do is just look at Bayonetta and Smash, and then because she does all these like crazy poses, so we'll have to go see. That would be hilarious. I don't think that's gonna happen, but I can try. But it's gonna be a while though. It'll probably be like 5 years before I can get to that point, and I have to get like on the ball with the flexibility exercises. Yeah, and starting in 1 hour, I'm gonna start like streaming exercises again. Well, not again. I haven't done it before. I'm gonna start streaming them. Now, I don't know if I'm gonna do it on YouTube and Twitch. Probably not. I'm probably just gonna stream it for my friends, because I want them to get their butts in gear and get some exercise. Because a lot of people get all sad and all that, but they'd never exercise, and then that also impacts their sleep. It's just like, bruh, come. But if like I start streaming it, I could be like, bruh, come work out with me, bruh. And then if they do one good habit, they'll probably do other good habits. Because, well, I see like what happens with a lot of people, just in general, in real life, online, just everyone in general. It's like, if they have no good habits, and if they start doing one good habit, like, it's easier for them to start other ones. But like, so many people aren't like motivating other people to go do things. So I'm gonna go try doing that. But yeah, we'll go see. But yeah, at this point, like, there's plenty of people that would probably join me for like exercise and such, that like I don't think I have a reason to go do like YouTube and Twitch. I want to make sure like the people that are actually joining are actually exercising. Also, it's kind of fun to go poke at him and just say, hey, you're here. Come join. Do the exercises. Be beefy. Stretch. Yeah. But I have to... Thing is, right now, I don't have a list of exercises. I've just been kind of like doing things what's off the top of my head. So I have to go like do some research on like stuff like that. I have to go look at my previous vlog because I had a bunch of those, but I forgot to write them down somewhere and actually do them more. Again, I was horrible with my exercises this month. So like basically what I'm planning on doing today is I'm going to be exercising in an hour after I'm done recording all this, and then I'm going to frickin' take a shower, eat some food, and then during my oh wait, that's right, today's Smash night. Shit. Alright, I guess tomorrow is the day I'll be writing down a variety of exercises. Yeah, I've been doing Smash every Wednesday, so yeah. Because everyone's been like getting super into Smash recently for some reason. Yeah. Let's see here. Now, one thing I thought was really interesting is my body's aligning to this day-night cycle. I've always been a night owl for like most of my life, but like recently it's aligning to the day-night cycle. I'm just like, what is this? Why is my body doing this now? What's happening? Because my body would always default to like the nighttime thing, so I have no idea what's going on with there. I know like some people are gonna say like digital electronics and such are probably a part of that. You know, I just thought about something. I wonder if it has something to do with me sleeping on the floor and then my muscles like actually freaking relaxing and moving in ways so they can actually sleep properly. And maybe back when I thought I was a night owl, like I may have gotten better sleep then, but maybe I was just too exhausted and I just happened to sleep at the same time every time. Maybe that's what it is. So I found it very interesting that like I'm sleeping really well during the day-night cycle, which is kind of throw a wrench in my scheduling a bit, because you know most people like to be up at night, you know. Alrighty, I forgot to go record this earlier today, or well, I should say yesterday now. So I'm recording at 3:30 in the morning. I'm gonna go do the little tip, because why not? Saying up can mess up your body's natural cycle. Oh, do I even have one? Yeah, actually. The day-night cycle has actually been affecting my body now. But I'm feeling awake right now, so I don't know. I mean, I did have some sugar earlier, so that might have something to do with it. Also, it doesn't make waking up in the morning any easier. Yeah, I know. But I'm gonna sleep on the floor, so I wake up faster. 55 days. I thought it was a month and a half, but I guess I did like get distracted for like a week this month, so it's like it turned out to be more like 2 months. Oopsies. Oh. Recently. Hey, I know I haven't been exercising, and I know you're talking about the other account, but yeah, I'm working on it. My legs are freaking sore because after I recorded the vlog, I did the exercising stuffs, and now like my legs are like super sore and all that. But oh my god, I always forget how much more of a positive feel I am in whenever I freaking get my exercises in. It's almost like it reduces stress or something. Who would have thought? Wait, I need to go move this. There we go. Centered. Bop, bop. Light. I'm not wearing a shirt, just the shorts. I don't want to show my face yet. There. Can I get the green lights at least? There's the green lights. I am Spooky Man. I am just a pair of eyes. It's like I'm the frickin' flower man in frickin' Lethal Company. Ooh, spooky. Oh shit. I was not really paying attention. Uh-oh. I've been caught slacking. Slacking. Gotta get all those muscles working again. Work on my flexibility. Exercising your abs can help raise abdominal pressure. Yeah. My digestive health has not been that great lately. Now, what I really want to know. Yeah. Okay, understandable. I did just eat, like, literally before coming in. Yeah, like, it was absolutely horrible this month. Like, oh my god, like, everything that could have possibly gone wrong went wrong. Yeah, there was, like, a few days that, like, I ate healthy, but, like, it was just, oh, it was so horrible. So I guess this makes up for, like, losing weight without trying before. So now that this has happened, hopefully I can get back on track. Because even like at this point, like even if like the weight it wasn't even there, just eating healthy makes me have so much more energy that it's like it's not even worth bothering about the weight. Because if I have my eggs in the morning, oh, easy day. Just easy day for the rest of the day. But like if I eat like any sort of like junk food to wake up, it's just like the whole day is just awful. So get my stuff better. Oh no, you didn't quite reach it. I failed. No, fuck that. I want to be significantly lighter. But yeah, but now that I'm going to be doing like streaming myself doing exercise, I'm not going to be doing it on YouTube. I'm just going to be doing it for my friends. Yeah, I just overweight instead of just obese. Alright. I'm going to be streaming, so I'll actually stick to it this time. Wait. Well, we are halfway through the year. Should I go 6 or should I go 3? I want to have an excuse to go push myself. And I also want to, I mean, not that like you're really pushing yourself, but I want to see like what happens. Also, yeah. I mean, to be fair, if I push myself, I'm probably going to be gaining muscle. So, I'm probably not going to be losing the weight, but at least I'll have muscles. But yeah, I'm going to just do this. So, like, I remind myself to frickin' not to overeat. Yeah. That sounds reasonable. Continue. Let's see what else they give us this time. 2 balance tests. I just realized I'm still in my OBS preview. There we go. Oh no, not the stillness test. I've always been terrible at these. I am a very visual person, and I think that's one of the reasons why like Phantom Sense works so well on me, because I focus on my visuals so hard. Uh-oh, what the recenter. Huh? God damn it. I can't. Again, I look at the visuals a lot. I can't wait to see the lines for this. And then I went more to the sides after a while. Staying a bit more centered than I was expecting, though. But, like, that's always been a hard one for me. Oh boy, this one.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, wait. Oh, right. Oh, I'm so sluggish. I did do a lot of exercise earlier, and it is 3:30 in the morning. Again, just a reminder. Hey, at least I got all of them. Not bad, not bad. Because when I first did the Wii Fit, like, many years ago, back in my super ultra omega obese days, like, I couldn't finish, like, in time to do the last one. There was even times when I even see the last one. It was just that bad. But, like, slowly over time, and then, like, whenever you get back into exercise, it's always easier because you've done it before. So your brain picks up, like, easier in the future. So it's like, while I was absolutely abysmal this time around when it came to exercise, I'm now on the upswing again, and now I actually am putting, like, some habits in place. So I should be sticking to it a lot better, especially since other people are probably going to be joining now too. If you can train yourself to keep still without depending on visual cues, you'll be able to improve your sense of balance. How do I do that? How do I do that? I mean, I have been trying to... Yeah, I have been neglecting my meditation exercises. Those are probably going to help a bit. Your Wii Fit Age is 57! You're horrible! You're worthless! 36. I'm 1 year older. I'm getting older! Oh no! But yeah. Not big surprise. This is what happens when you give into nostalgic habits and everything goes back to being horrible all over again. The worst thing ever. Haba. It's just okay. Oh wait, I should have put the foot there just to signify I was slow. I was regressing. Yeah. Let's reach a 4. A new stamp. Hot dog. Alright, some exercise. Keep working. Yeah. I wonder if I will make it so I am no longer obese by the end of the year. That would be pretty nice. I'm not super omega obese. I'm just only regular obese at this point. I want to look at the stamp. Where's the stamp set? You can see when you took the body test. Is it actually telling me something? I don't actually know because I didn't check this area that much. The days you took the body test are marked with a stamp. Oh, no, it's just repeating. Okay, got it. I am the being in the night. Alright, I want to see the stamps. Boo! I guess I'll have to wait till next month to see the next stamp. Boo! Oh yeah. Horrible. See this? Terrible. Awful. Abysmal. Well, that's the thing. Even though you do terrible in exercise, it's like, you don't let that stop you. Because if you do, well, it's just gonna get worse. So, yeah. Because, like, yesterday, today, I did exercise. Like, you can probably hear it in my voice. I feel amazing right now. And it's not because I drank a monster, like, yesterday. I'm pretty sure that would have worn off by now. I just feel so much better now. It's amazing what, like, exercise would do. Waist size. I need to fucking see if I have, like, a flexible tape thing in my house. They'd probably be a lot better than the pictures I was going to show anyways. Yeah. An excuse to not show my body. But yeah. I don't want to show my body unless I have a six-pack. Wait, what? Okay. So, let's see. So, yeah, going up and down, yeah. That reminds me of, like, what happened when I did Wii Fit the first time. It's like, it would go up and down all the time, but it would go on a slower thing. So, seeing a huge jump up like that, like, I'm not too surprised that something like that has happened. That's probably the biggest jump I've ever had going upwards. But normally I don't have such big jumps going downwards either. It was usually like when I used to do the Wii Fit when it first came out, it would be a very slow, gradual decline. But this, like, because of all the things I've been doing with my diet and such, it's just like going all over the place. So yeah. Oh, it feels so weird. Because I was at the very top, and I was 330 at my heaviest weight, so I probably would have been like overweight for the Wii Fit. It wouldn't have been able to calculate me at my heaviest. And then now I'm all the way down here. It's like 250 this time, but like, it's still way better. Wait, am I heavier than when I started? Oh no. Well, yeah, again, like, I was absolutely abysmal this month. It was yeah. So this is just gonna be like a marker of just like, this, you can still gain weight. It's still possible. It's not like there's something going on that's making it so you don't have to try anymore. You still have to try. Even though I feel like I didn't have to do anything for a while. So yeah. Oh, I can't wait to see what happens next month because I am super in the mood to frickin' go exercise and such. Did I select him? Nope. Can't. Unfortunate. But yeah. Oops. You have a fun time watching the rest of the vlog. Hopefully you have some good times getting onto your diet and whatever, and exercise and all that, because even though there's a little number there, like, actually doing the things and actually having a diet will actually make you feel better. So don't worry too much about what the number says. But yeah, that said though, like, I definitely felt like absolutely like god awful this month physically. It was so bad. Stay healthy. And I didn't create anything. So creation checkpoint, I didn't create anything. I was distracted and exhausted, so nothing to say there. Game log. I have things to say here though. So Rain World, I did that up until Spearmaster. I mentioned that briefly earlier, but like right now it's like I was having such a blast, and then the PC crashed at some point, and then I thought, okay, it's okay. I'm sure like the it won't corrupt the save or anything, and then it corrupted the save. So I made a support ticket, and then haven't heard anything from Akapura Games. So I'm just going to be editing things until I do hear from them. And if I still don't hear from them, I'll just go play the game. And that's going to be kind of a bad thing. But yeah. Yeah. And that's why I looked at so because of that, I'm just like, I wonder how close the release date to MechWarrior 5 Clans is. And then it's like 2024. I'm like, wait, what? That's this year. What? You didn't wait till next year? Yeah, I did mention that earlier. But yeah. So I decided to go record MechWarrior 2. Yeah. Most of it was done in one night. Like, I recorded one where I did the training in the first mission, and I'm like, I am talking like a scatterbrain right now. Because, like, I was probably, like, extremely exhausted and all that. And I don't think I realized how bad it was at the time. So, yeah. Am I at the wrong spot? But yeah. I guess it doesn't really matter too much. What was I saying? But yeah. And then I guess that's like the rest of the things. So I'll just go back to normal now. Because you've probably seen it enough. But disappear. Whoa. Hello. There we go. So what was I saying? Oh yeah, I did MechWarrior 2. So the first session I basically did the training mode and the first mission in Jade Falcon, and then I realized I was too scatterbrained. So I'm like, you know what? I'm having a hard time with my bad habits. Let me go drink alcohol. Because, you know, I wasn't thinking straight because I was too exhausted. I was thinking of stupid things because I wasn't on my good diet. But then I, like, did almost the entirety of MechWarrior 2 in one sitting, basically. I did the entirety of the Jade Falcon, and then I did, like, 3/4 of Wolf campaign. So that was a little bit of a shocker. So, and then I did like a couple other sessions. It was like I recorded the last quarter of Clan Wolf. I think I did one. Actually, the third session I basically recorded like a singular mission because I kept on having such a hard time. If I knew how to do the jump jets forward, I probably would have been able to do it a lot faster, but since I didn't, I was trying out different cheese builds. And then on the last session... No, wait, no. That's still part of the same session. Okay. I think. I don't know. But I did the last of the wolf. And then I did the default stuff for the Trials of Grievance, which is basically like random death matches with the AI with standard mechs. And then I made one last session of me doing like the old custom matches that I used to do when I was a kid. But yeah, that was like a really fun time. It was kind of fun because it's an old game and they were trying to go for a more simulator kind of feel. So it's not just WASD. I do like the WASD with like the PGI games, and it's just like I don't want to I don't want to struggle with my freaking controls when I'm playing a stompy shooty game. But like, it was a fun experience doing it like, okay, I have to use my mouse to go aim left and right. I can't click for some reason to shoot, even though it says it in the manual, but I can't click to shoot. So I would just aim left and right with that sometimes so I could change the torso. And then I would have my hands and the arrows to move left and right. Then I also have them over to the side so I can press spacebar to shoot. Then I would move over here so I can freaking change my weapon grouping, and then up over like over here, like freaking do jump jets, and then over on the left I do the throttle. So it's like so many different like locations for my hands to go. It's like I would not make this if I wanted to make a game super popular. But like it was such a fun, unique experience, just like moving your hands, like oh gosh, and then when if you're in like a stressful situation, it's like oh gosh, what's the button? Oh gosh, it's just like it was such a fun time. Oh yeah. So with that said, I don't know if I'm gonna get to the other ones. I've never played MechWarrior 3. I have MechWarrior 4, but I don't have a CD drive. So I'll get around to it. I was gonna go do Ghost Bear, but apparently the thing that was letting me play MechWarrior 2, I can't get that to do like Ghost Bear for some reason. So I don't know. Maybe one day I'll get to play it, but oh well. Yeah. But when MechWarrior 5 Clans comes out, I plan on doing that. I might record MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, but that's a sandboxy kind of game, so that's more of a game for streaming. It's way too much footage to go edit. I'm trying to go tackle when I played MechWarrior 5. I never liked this track. It's like the credits theme or something. It's like a hidden track. This is the 27th one. I'm skipping back to the beginning. There. Because the tracks in MechWarrior 2 are short, but gosh darn, I love them all. Except for that 27th one. It's just too silly for me. Anyways, what was I saying? Oh yeah, MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. It's more of a streaming game. It's like a game that you can just plug in, play, and just have fun whenever you want. And then, like, you go look at this mech. For example, like, there's hard points. Like, for this, like, the little ears on it are always, like, missiles. And you got this, the arms with, like, energy hard points and such, and you swap them out. That's how, like, PGI does it. Back in MechWarrior 2, though, you could just swap out anything for anything. Because that's how it was in the tabletop Battletech game. So, yeah. But, like, the hardpoint system, MechWarrior 4 was, like, the first one that introduced that. And it makes it so, like, all the mechs have more... It's easier to see their individuality a lot more that way. So, yeah. It's kind of fun. I kind of wish there was, like, an option to, like, swap that out. But I think one of the reasons why they don't, like, let you swap everything else out is because all these little, like, hardpoint sections, like, people, like, I've seen a little bit of footage, and there's people specifically, like, retexturing everything for, like, these, like, little slots for the weapons. So that's probably a lot of extra work that they would have to do if they allowed any weapon to be placed anywhere. So they make them look a certain way. Even though I've definitely seen some mechs that look a little silly with the way that their stuff is put on. But yeah. Anyways, I'm trying to go edit like the co-op playthrough I had of MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. We didn't make it to the end. I also didn't know like how hard the DLC was compared to like the normal campaign, so it kind of turned off like my friends from it because it was way too hard, because they were expecting a nice easy stompy mech game, which the main campaign is a nice easy game until like the very end missions. But like the DLC, it starts off with that hard difficulty right off the bat, so they were having a poor time because they weren't expecting that. They were expecting an easy time. They weren't ready for that difficulty yet. I didn't know that like the DLC was more of like a post-game sort of thing. So, oopsies. But yeah, maybe one day I'll get around to like having a new playthrough. But yeah. But like the game is very slow paced, and it's supposed to be like a thing to play every day and such. So I don't know if I'm going to do that. MechWarrior 5 Clans, however, is like a series of missions that like are handcrafted for everything. So it might be, I'll probably be able to do like all of MechWarrior 5 Clans in a reasonable amount of time. So we'll go see. But yeah, I look forward to doing that because it'll be interesting to see a game that's kind of inspired by MechWarrior 2. So we'll see. Yeah. And then I played Indigo Park Chapter 1. I uploaded that just because I wanted to be like, I'll go show it so people can go see it real quick. But then I got rid of it after a week because, you know, I changed the resolution partway through because for the duration of MechWarrior 2, since I had alcohol in it, I was also a little alcoholified on when I recorded Indigo Park, because I recorded on one of the same days as MechWarrior 2. So I wasn't paying too close attention to that. So I alt-entered at some point so I could go full screen, and I didn't even think about how that would affect recording at that time, because alcohol, very tired and exhausted, basically functioning only because I had a monster. So yeah, that was unfortunate. But I had a fun time with that, so I will redo Chapter 1 of Indigo Park at some point. I will try to go remember to go put a link in the description if you want to see like my honest like first like time recording it sort of deal. Like the first like 5-10 minutes I probably didn't, because I was originally going to do it in VR, but like once I got into the normal gameplay thing, it was absolutely destroying like the frames. It just did not want to move at all, so I decided to go do it in desktop, as much as I like having my little protogen. But yeah, it was a fun time, but I don't know when chapter 2 is gonna come out, so we'll see when that happens. I'm sure my friends will make sure that I know. They'll definitely make sure, because I wasn't expecting to be such a big hit with friends. So yeah. Well, yeah, I'm definitely gonna add the stupid image of Rambly going like, let me get a good look at you. So, because people love the heck out of that moment. So, I think that's the moment that a lot of people fell in love with that character. And for me, it's kind of funny because I look at this character and I'm just like, this just feels like a lot of people that I know. Because, you know, a bunch of furry people like to be silly goobers a lot of the time. Though, most of the time, people are pretty chill. But, like, when people are feeling silly, oh, they get silly. So, I'm just like, this just feels like everyone else I know. And sometimes I feel like I'm that way, too. So, I'm just like, it's nothing special. It's just typical furry behavior. Yeah. Anyways, I now ban myself until I fucking edited everything, because I did. Now, in hindsight, MechWarrior 2 didn't mess with my recording as much. It was also probably because of like Rain World. Probably Rain World I got a little too obsessed with at some point, so I'm making sure that like I edit everything before I move on, especially since I've been talking about these games for a while, but I haven't uploaded anything. I wasn't expecting Rain World to be so long. Yeah, so I was like 90 hours. So originally I was just gonna go do the whole game, make a highlight video, and then upload all the parts at the same time. But now I'm not so sure, because that was way longer than I was expecting. And also I'm not so sure if I'm going to be doing Final Fantasy at this point, because Final Fantasy is over 100 hours long, and I'm only halfway through the year just off of Rain World. I'm just like, I don't know if I can do Final Fantasy, because if I do Final Fantasy, I have to do Final Fantasy, then like I think it's the remake, Crisis Core. I forget the order, but like that would be like 400-500 hours of like the Final Fantasy games that I was recommended to go do. I was like, yeah, I like Sephiroth, but that's a lot of time. That's a lot of fucking time. I don't know if I can do that. So I'm gonna go just stick to like shorter game log things for a while, because I need a break from long things, because Rain World was way too long for my. But of course, you're not really expected to play every single character. But you know what? That's just how my brain works. I'm just like, I have to do all the things. Now, that said though, I still didn't 100% every single character, because if I did that, I would definitely easily get into like the thousands of hours really quickly. So I'm not going to go do that. But yeah, I'm going to try to upload more things. I want to go upload when I did MechWarrior 5 with friends. I want to go upload more Smash that I've done with friends, and then I want to go upload when I did Rain World. And right now my first thing I'm going to be doing is uploading MechWarrior 2, because there's not going to be another game like that for a while. Now, if you're someone that plays MechWarrior or Battletech, let me just say that I'm just basically having fun with how I did as a kid, which means I didn't read all the things. I probably read all of it, but I probably forgot most of it because there was so much jargon everywhere. So I didn't. there's not a whole lot of story. I don't know the story that well in MechWarrior 2. I know a lot of things. I've definitely spent hundreds of hours on Sarna.net, but like, I'm not the go-to person for lore on BattleTech. Go watch like Black Pants Legion, Big Red 40K, I think it's called. And then there's crap. There's a new one recently. I think it's like Saint something. Starts with a P. I don't know. That also has been doing good like in-depth dives. And I know there's like a bunch of other like lore things based on BattleTech. So it's like if you want like a nice bedtime story, like look up any of their videos, depending on how goofy or how serious you want them to be. But like, yeah, it's a good time. Like, there are tons and tons of books on BattleTech. So it's like if you want like a franchise that lets you have endless amounts of stories, like BattleTech is one of those. So it's kind of fun. Alright. I think that's just about it. So, I guess that's just it. Beat Saber time. Oh yeah. You know the thing I said earlier about doing something that's minorly annoying? After this video is done, go do something that like you don't want to do at all. Something that'll take a little bit more time. What's something that you've been like not wanting to do for a while? So go do that. Just do. I'm not saying you have to do a whole bunch of things. Just do at least one thing. Just one thing that you just didn't want to do. Do that. Yeah. Now, the video that I did today, I don't. Of course, there's probably not going to be like a Beat Saber like track for MechWarrior 2 because MechWarrior 2 is a very, very old freaking thing. I was shocked to find this map in VR chat, so that was kind of neat. I actually saw like a tabletop like rule set like in VR chat as well on like another world. So I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome. So I might go do that at some point. But like, there's so many rules with the tabletop that I don't know if I'm gonna get around to it. So we'll see. Anyways, Beat Saber. What I plan on doing is, I basically decided to go do Mega Man 3 because I was distracted by nostalgia a lot. Now, there's like two franchises that I've always thought about as like, that have like good music and people are die-hard nostalgic for them, and that's like Sonic and Mega Man. So I decided to go do like the Mega Man 3 intro, and then since I didn't want to go straight into like doing Dance Dash in all of these videos yet, I kind of want to keep doing it as like a Beat Saber thing. I don't know why. Maybe one day I'll make the swap, but like I decided to go do one that's like a bit more active with the body. So I decided to go do the Mega Man 3 title. Since like it makes you go side to side quite a lot, and then you gotta go like duck a few times. So I thought that was kind of fun. So yeah, and then I've wanted to get into Mega Man at some point. I don't care about the character at all, but like the rest of the everything else about the Mega Man games looks fun and neat. Yeah. So, what was I gonna say? There's something else I was gonna say. But yeah. Now, oh yeah. I also did that because like, just because I love nostalgia, don't get stuck in your nostalgia. You gotta move on at some point. So as much as I would love to be able to go play more MechWarrior 2, there are other games out there. It's like, even like this music I'm listening to right now, like every time I listen to this track, for example, it's like, it always gives me really good emotions every single time. But if I listen to this and never listen to anything else, like, I'm gonna be limiting my growth as a person. There's way more experiences out there in life, so you gotta go do that. But yeah, I did the MechWarrior 3 thing because just a lot more mobile than some of the other songs. So, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I didn't ramble too much this time. So, yeah. Hope you had a fun time listening to me ramble all this much. I'll try to have some better notes next time. But I'm not going to be like showing my notes next time. We'll go see what happens for like the next vlog. Now, hopefully I actually stick to this. And after this, I have 40 minutes to go take pictures of myself. And I'm going to make an unlisted video showing the freaking, like, what my body type actually looks like. That way, like, next year, we'll see what happens in 1 year sort of deal. Because my body type is kind of weird because, like, I did a lot of exercising as a kid. I would go biking all the time. I would go climb mountains. So, like, my lower legs are kind of muscular, but then like my upper legs are like really round and such. But yeah, and then I do have slight hills on these arms. They're not the tubes that they were. They're not like giant mountains. They're just like little hills just from Beat Saber alone. So I want to go like take a picture of that before I start doing like heavy hardcore push-ups. I said I was going to do that last month, but like now I have like 40 minutes left to go take those pictures. So I'm doing that literally after I finish recording. So there's no excuses. So that said, hope you have fun watching like this Beat Saber video. Goodbye.